Welcome back to the channel. So I thought in today's little video I would do a little video on the Elaphiti Islands, which is one of the trips I'm going to be doing when I go out to Dubrovnik in just over 2 weeks' time. Some say apparently that the island of Lochram, which was on my last video, is also classed as an Elaphiti island, which fair enough it may be. In total though there are actually 13 Elaphiti Islands. So the main three that are inhabited are Kolochap, Lopud and Shipan. And out of the 13, Shipan is the largest. Only 2 of the islands have cars on them. Lopud is one of them and Shipan is the other one. Because there's 5 kilometres of road on Shipan. Kolochap is the nearest island to Dubrovnik. It's 3 miles in total. Shipan is the furthest at 11 miles. So Lopud is probably about 6 to 7 miles from Dubrovnik. Most trips from Dubrovnik go from the ferry port at the cruise port, and you sail out this way up into Kolochap first, and then you sail north towards Sudarac on Shipan. There is another resort you can visit at the top end, but most people go to Sudarac. You then sail from Sudarac down to Lopud, which takes about 15 minutes. But all these other islands that are named are also Elaphiti Islands as well. And Mijelet is a national park, which you can do on a separate trip. So there's all the islands. So there are 14, so Lochram is actually included. But the 3 that are highlighted in orange are the main inhabited ones. The others are not inhabited. But you can visit Shipan, Lopud and Kolochap. So just to give you an idea of the actual islands, I will now take you onto the images page and show you the pictures of the actual islands. So it's just beautiful. So this one here, for example, with that church on it, is on the island of Lopud. So when you come from Dubrovnik, you would come round here into the main bay. You'd be coming from Shipan, which is across there. So if I show you Sudarac I'll get onto Sudarac now. This is Sudarac in Shipan. Absolutely beautiful little place to visit. So there's many pictures on here, and there's the Karaka there, look, docked at Kolochap actually. So, and there it is again at Sudarac. So if we just click it, that's the Karaka galleon cruise around the Elaphiti Islands. That's the Karaka. So that's where you will dock, and then you walk along here, and this one has got cars on it, so you can go to the coffee shop just there. You can also visit this mansion as well, and there's also a winery just up here, but you can walk around this main part of Sudarac. That's also Shipan as well, the same place, just taken from a different angle. So it's the Karaka. So it tells you basically, a bit like what I said last time, about what you can do on the Karaka, but there's a separate website to book for that. So if I take you now to, let's go to Kolochap first of all and get some pictures of Kolochap. So this is basically the first island that you will visit if you do a trip from Dubrovnik to Kolochap. Absolutely stunning place. So you're looking across there to the island of Lopud, and then behind it is Shipan. So you always visit this one first, as it's the closest. So to go from Dubrovnik to Kolochap takes about 45 minutes by the Karaka. You take a nice steady journey out of Dubrovnik. You generally get about an hour on the island. You then sail 45 minutes up to Shipan, which is the next island but one up. You have about an hour and a quarter there, and then you sail across 15 minutes or so to Lopud, where you get about 3 hours before you return to Dubrovnik. And that's also, even if you don't go on the Karaka, there are other boat trips that visit these islands as well, and they do a very similar itinerary. So if we look at the map of Kolochap first of all, when you get onto Kolochap, hopefully this map will appear on the screen. That's not the Karaka, that's the Tirana. But the map is there. So when you arrive on Kolochep, you will start, and you generally arrive here from Dubrovnik. So you'll come round here from Dubrovnik into Kolochep, and you can walk these paths to these different places. It will probably take you more than an hour to complete the whole island, so I generally just stay in this main bit where the boat docks. You can walk to these other places, but it might take longer than you think. It's 3 kilometres by road. So that's on Sudarac. So that's the coffee bar you can go to. Then you can walk up there, and there's another one you can sit at as well, just there. So that's on Sudarac in Japan. And you can also visit that church, which at the moment is abandoned because they're still doing renovation on it. And you can go up the steps, and again there are bats in the roof as well, as I found out when I went with the guide last time. That's the view from on top of the roof where these girls are stood. So behind there, behind these girls, you've got where the boat docks. That's the map of Lopud Island, which is the biggest one. So the ship will dock just here, and then you've got a beach all along here. There's another beach the other side, just there. You can walk straight through, and apparently you can go on a buggy from there. I think it's about €10 from one side to the other. I generally stay in this built-up area here because there are plenty of restaurants where you can have food and drink. And then obviously that's also another view of Lopud Island with the beach and the church that you see when you come in. And then this is the entrance to the park, which is nice and relaxing. And then you can walk anywhere on this island really. So it's a nice relaxing trip to the Elaphiti Islands, whether you go by Karaka or you do your own boat trip. You can book them at the marina in Dubrovnik as well, and you can request hotel pickup. And then you'll be taken to the cruise port where you generally get the boats, either the Karaka or whichever boat trip you've chosen to go on. So there's lots of pictures about the Elaphiti Islands. There's also the Blue Cave you can visit on Kolochep as well. I've not personally done this, but that looks absolutely amazing. So you can do that as well. So you can go with the Caruso boat trips there. So you can go on a speedboat and they take you into the Blue Cave, and you can do some diving as these people are doing here. So it looks absolutely spectacular, but I generally just like the sightseeing part of it. So if we go on to Lopud again, click onto Lopud, and then that's that church, that's the beach there on that picture. That's looking at it from above. So they're your basic 3 islands. So you leave Dubrovnik from the cruise port, you come up round the back of here to Kolochep first, then you go up to Shipan, and then you come back down to Lopud and then back to Dubrovnik. You can visit the other end of the island, but it will take quite a while to walk to it. So you may as well just stay in the main in the main area where the boat drops you off. You can stay on Lopud Island and Kolochep. There are hotels as well. Lopud has got quite a few hotels on it. You can stay there. So you'd be transferred from Dubrovnik Airport over to Kolochep or Lopud, wherever you're staying. And then that's another map there. So you go from Dubrovnik down to Kolochep, Lopud, and then you can visit Mijelet on a separate trip. And then Ston and Korčula is another nice island you can visit as well. Hvar is another one I've been to before, but Korčula is my favourite. As you drive from Dubrovnik up the coast to Ston, you stop there, and then you come up to go to Orebic, and then you get a boat trip across to Korčula. I will do a video on Korčula in the next episode, but for now this is just to give you an idea of the Elaphiti Islands. So I hope you enjoyed it. So please comment and subscribe and like the video. And thank you for watching, and take care.